Welcome to Untamed Blossoms, the podcast where we celebrate the untamed journey of womanhood. Here, we tell the stories of incredible women who have embraced their authenticity, inspiring others to do the same.
From entrepreneurs to artists, activists to adventurers, we share triumphs, challenges, and the beauty of self-discovery. These are the stories of women blazing their own trails, breaking free, and blooming unapologetically.
Join us to connect, be inspired, and celebrate the power of women's stories. Together, let's rewrite the rules and embrace our wildness.
Welcome to Untamed Blossoms. I'm your host, Amanda Riley.
And I'm Cristi Riley. Welcome to the show, everybody.
You can tell it is winter time coming soon. Because
No, it's fall time.
wintertime is coming soon because we're already sitting here before we record thinking of all the things we want to do differently for next year.
Yes.
That's totally us.
Yes.
This time of year.
Yes.
It's a little crisp bite in the air and we're like, all right, let's change everything.
What are we doing for season 3?
Let's just change everything. You're seeing the first change right now, which is a closer, tighter camera angle.
Right. Leveling up, y'all.
Yeah.
Leveling up.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
Totally.
Seeing what's coming fresh for season 3.
Speaking of what's coming fresh and leveling up, Taylor Swift's new album is so good.
Yeah?
I
haven't listened to it.
I'm going to play a song for you before we leave.
Okay.
And it's what pops in my head every morning that I wake up now.
Oh,
Here's
nice.
the thing is, clearly I'm a Taylor Swift stan. I am a 1989 girly and rep girly. We've had a lot of sad eras. Okay. We had Folklore, we had Evermore, we had Midnights, we had the Torture Poets department. I have been listening to sad Taylor for years. All I wanted was a pop album. You know what I mean? All I wanted was like yeah. Finally,
This is it.
she gave us one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I've had a great
she's
week.
engaged and getting married and all the things,
getting on
right?
the
And happy.
Wood, if you will. There's a song called Wood. And
this is fantastic.
I just love that our girl is getting it in.
Yes.
With her band.
Yes.
She's never had an album where she's like, yeah.
I love this.
She's had like I'm in love, Lover, with the album.
Right.
I'm so in love. This album is I'm getting freak nasty.
Nice.
And I'm like, hell yeah, girl.
Get it,
And
girl.
people are like, whoa, this album's a little, and I'm like, oh, I know.
Yeah.
Proud of every.
Get your freak on, girl. Get your freak on.
When she is referencing Travis as a redwood tree, I'm like, honey. You see that video?
Okay, now.
Lifting up another guy on the golf course. Just like, they're lifting him up. They were celebrating. He can toss around a full-grown man with one arm.
Right.
What's he doing to Taylor?
Right.
I want to know.
Yeah. Well, we all do know.
For this album, sure do. I tell you that.
This is fantastic. I love that. Good for her. That's fantastic. I think everybody should be getting whatever freak they want on. Yay. Get on with your freaky self. You know what I mean?
I just love that you said whatever freak they want.
There's a lot of ways to get freaky. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like if everyone let everyone be as freaky and wild as weird as they want, we would be a lot better place right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd be a much happier arena. Yeah. For sure.
Totally.
Like literally suppressing that, I think, makes people go mad.
So,
right.
Anyway, it's the time.
But you have your spooky earrings on.
I do have my
your little pumpkin earrings. You look adorable.
I just realized I missed a huge patch of hair on my ankle when I was shaving. And it's giving werewolf. It's giving.
Well, that means
tonight.
that spot is probably someplace that you have missed multiple times.
Oh my God. Yeah. This hair is aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, wow, Jesus. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
This is like a whole inch long.
But
I can pick this up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually the spot where you're like, that's been growing for a while. It's on the boat and I'll be like, hey, catching that in the sunlight. You're like, oh, that's that multiple times.
It's interesting. I haven't been playing pickleball and I wear leggings to the gym. So I found myself, I'm going to wear a dress today. How long is this dress? Oh, mid ankle. Great. Only maybe, I don't know, 6 of my leg will be shaved today. What are the chances of it going past this height?
I will give you a little tidbit into your future. Once you turn a certain age and your eyesight starts to go and you can't see things up close, I can't really tell how long the hair on my legs are.
Yeah.
And so I find myself not really giving two shits. So I'll wear a dress and I'll be like, maybe I haven't shaved in a minute. Who knows? And I can't see it. So
My body hair is very similar to my hair on my head in ways that most of it blonde,
Yeah.
white. I might say gray. But then part are dark.
yeah.
And so why is my ankle hair like black, but the rest of my leg hair is like blonde?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Weird.
beauty standards, weird.
This is
Today,
crazy topics, by the way. We're all over the place.
we're on part 4 of our 300 Things series.
No, this is fun. And boy, has this been an exercise, dude. Listen, part of I'm probably gonna do a video and I'm gonna tag this dude in it. The guy who I heard it from sort of breezed through it. Like he did this in 2 days, right? Women, it'll be interesting to hear from all of you. I want to hear from all of you what all of your experiences is. Was this super easy for you to come up with
Yeah.
all of these? And I have struggled almost with all of them except for travel.
Yeah.
To come up
what
with
is
enough
this week's?
35.
Tell everyone what this week is.
This one is career and
project.
passion projects. Yes. Which I kind of had passion projects a little bit in other sections and
/ creative work.
creative work. Yeah.
But same thing.
And as a 50, almost 4-year-old, you know, like I feel like your career ambitions, mine are there, but I'm not a 20 something looking
You're not
to,
like
right. So
yeah.
my list I felt like was shorter and it had a lot to do with Untamed Blossoms, but I struggled with coming up with enough. And
Yeah.
I think I got to like 28. I definitely didn't get to 35.
Right.
And that was pushing myself, I felt like. But it just brings up a whole lot of every one of these I feel like has brought up a whole lot of contemplation for me. Like this exercise, excuse me, as a number 2, as a people pleaser, you know, recovering people pleaser, somebody who's a caregiver who puts other needs first. Like some of this has been a real exercise for me in trying to figure out like, you know, what do you want?
Right.
Just you.
Right.
Without considering anyone else, without how that's going to impact anyone, just you. Just me, myself, and I. And it brings up I feel like a whole list of stuff, you know, of things like am I doing it? Am I really I make these big lofty statements on here and then I look at my day to day and I'm like, am I doing, which led to a whole conversation about season 3 of the podcast today about where do we need to go? What do we need to do? How do I, you know, I get back into that mode of striving, right? And instead of just letting it arrive and come to me, I'm like, well, if this is really what I want, then what am I doing to move that needle forward, right? And how can I push on it? And so where do you find that balance? But each one of these sections has come up with something like that for me where I've come to face something in my own psyche that I was like, huh. Well,
interesting that would show up like that.
Did that happen for you at all? And not in this one necessarily.
Not necessarily in this one. I will say I've had many years of corporate America setting goals, career goals.
Yeah.
My job was not only to do that for myself, but then to do it for all sometimes 80 employees that I had reporting to me. So goal setting, and we were doing it at work anyway for the real estate team that I'm on. So it's interesting because it wasn't hard for me per se, but I also was like, well, I'm not putting, you know, do 100 open houses next year on this list. Like what I realized was, how do I look at the career in a bigger scope than I normally do? Because normally I'm like, what are the SMART goals that will help me be more successful next year versus if I'm looking at this as 300 things I want to do in my career, I try that blowout approach.
Yeah.
I will go through a couple.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
And I will start with real estate and then later after you go, I'll talk about podcast stuff. And then I have some things that aren't in either of those 2 buckets, but those are my main 2 buckets. For real estate, I put things like be known as an expert in first-time home buying.
Nice.
I've realized through, doing some of these transactions that I'm still a trainer at heart, and I still like to help people through things they don't know and explain things.
Right.
And people that are buying for the first time
Need a lot of that.
need a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that at all. It doesn't
Right.
bother me. I don't find it frustrating.
Right.
So that's important to me. Getting licensed in another state eventually. That's really important to me.
Yeah.
Like, where do Noah and I want to travel to the most in the US? Like, where do we want to spend
Right.
time at? And then can I get licensed there?
Right.
Um,
That's a good goal.
train new agents,
Mhm.
create online workshops for new agents for passive income, and then passive income for myself for real estate. Like, what can I do, whether it be a project or owning properties that I can get passive income through being in real estate? And I have a lot of other ones for the podcast, but those are the main things I have in real estate. I think a lot of it comes down to I've had this year, year and a half with the team.
Right.
And moving forward, like, what do I want it to look like more than just like selling
Yeah.
houses? I'm going to always want to teach and be a trainer in some capacity.
Right.
And I love helping people. So, what does that look like for me to grow in this career?
Right.
And that's what I really spent time thinking about. What does that look like?
Right. And it sounds like, in my opinion, being an ex real estate agent myself, that is more of a broker's role. Like, once you get to the broker spot, is that you are training, you are teaching, you are looking at
It's
people.
so
No.
much more of like the corporate bullshit though that I never want to
Yeah.
go to. I don't want to
Yeah.
have to be in meetings around budgets and allocation of funds for different things and enforcing NAR rules and I don't want to do anything like that.
Oh yeah.
So
That does feel very corporate-y. That's true. Yeah.
and that's what was great about doing this list is I, for the first time ever, thought to myself, oh God, I could easily see how I could go right back into that same pipeline if I'm not
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that never even occurred to me that my personality could lead me down the same road if I'm not careful. And so, how do I be creative
Yeah.
with the things that I like doing and be careful not to end up being an office manager?
Right. Right. Right.
Because that would be something I would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless I don't want to do that.
Right. Right. Doing it for somebody else, but creating online content
Yeah.
for new agents is
Yeah.
something really necessary. Not everybody has a good team, and not everybody gets the privilege of having
Totally.
great people that's supporting them. It's
Totally.
really like a dog eat dog world out there, and it's really hard to get into, and especially get into with integrity. And I think people that really want to do it integriously even have less resources.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And like you were saying earlier, like you find out parts of yourself when you're doing this again. And I want to, well, one day I would love to have my own team one day down the line, right? Like my team leaders are older than I am. So eventually one day they're going to retire,
Right.
right? Like,
Right.
don't I want to do, no, Amanda, you do not want to run a team,
Right.
you
Right.
doofus.
Right.
But the first thing I thought of was like, well, that obviously should be my next goal. Not next goal, but my goal.
Right.
That doesn't have to be my goal. So
No.
like what is it about me that I'm constantly like, how can I make this the most difficult and all-encompassing thing in my life? Like why do I gotta go down that road?
Right. Right.
I don't want this to be that.
Yeah.
So don't.
Yeah.
This list really helps, I think, with that.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Okay, mine.
Yeah.
Let's see what I feel like mine started to run into some other categories. Like I feel like I was saying the same
I
things
felt
over
the
and
same,
over again.
yeah.
But, continue to tell women's stories and champion those that are doing the hard work on this planet with the podcast. Get to 100 episodes. And that's just period, right? Like
Yeah.
above 100, just not I think
Yeah.
we're at ish. Is that right? Our episodes
For this year?
total.
Oh, yeah, we're for this year
This is 40 this year, and
on December 28th.
will be our 100th episode.
No.
Oh.
But we have our end of year review.
Okay.
We will have done 50 episodes this season. We will do season 2 with 50 episodes. Season 1, we had 20 episodes. So we will be at 70 episodes by the end of this year. I know.
That's
I know.
impressive.
That
I
is.
thought 100 was lofty. I thought we were like at 40 for some reason. I don't know that, but that's 40 for this year.
Yeah.
That's true. That's awesome. Have an actual shingle hunt at the street for Untamed Blossoms.
Love that.
Get invited to be on a very well-known women's empowerment podcast.
Love that. It's a great goal.
Host a farm to table dinner series here on the farm with only female chefs. Publish my juju book.
Yes.
I do a juju book. Create a platform for other grandmothers who go by a different name to create their own book and sell online.
Beautiful.
Grandparents go by 1,000 different names, whatever their oldest grandchild could pronounce. It's usually what it is. But you can't find, they all say grandma or grandpa or, there's few, but you can't really get them for you if you wanted to. So I thought that would be cool. An idea. Secure sponsors for the show was one of my goals. Give a full 10 hours a week to finding the most interesting women to have on the show is one of mine. And then after our conversation today, I don't know about that one.
Ever-changing list.
Right? I love that. Learn about permaculture, growing from all the glorious humans that are helping me. So that will end up being some sort of career, I think, not a career like in the sense of money making necessarily, but definitely in something that I wanted. That was a creative endeavor for me, really.
I love that.
A line of medicinal products and other self-care products that come from the land, maybe that we give away to our fans or to not necessarily something that I'm trying not to create everything into a business.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes you just want to create things that if Untamed Blossoms is at a place that we really want it to be and it's thriving, that some of these products could be used as giveaways of things that we give to our guests when they come or, things like that.
Yeah.
Where you're sharing the wealth with people. Open a very small, heart-led, food-centric, organic breakfast restaurant.
I love that.
Yeah. But a little one.
Baby one.
Little baby one. Yeah. There's something about a breakfast spot.
Yeah.
Really good food.
Yeah.
That's not being done anywhere that I would love to do. So that might be something that he and I do in retirement. We'll see, like true retirement. Feature Ohioan women change makers in a mini series.
Love.
Yeah. Expand Untamed Blossoms internationally with potential guest hosts. Be cool.
Very
Other
cool.
countries, if this goes the place and have guest hosts that are doing Untamed Blossoms interviews in other parts of the world, that'd be cool.
Very cool.
Or you and I are traveling to do international.
I wouldn't mind us traveling to do international podcasting.
Just saying, universe, if that's in the cars, that would be great.
How else are we going to check off all the adventure?
Yeah.
Travel 300 list things.
I thought about searching out and finding excellent women storytellers for the pod. So truly people who specialize in storytelling, whether that's by, I even started looking up going to, I think poets are storytellers. So people that are doing poetry is like have a way of creating that imagery in your mind with words that it would be cool to have somebody like that on. Continue to learn and implement what I learn in our business about regenerative entrepreneurship. Build an app for the Untamed Blossoms to track personal goals and workouts.
Very cool.
You've talked about that too. Grow our social media followers to over 100,000 authentically. That's what I wrote down.
Like that.
Do an annual event for Untamed Blossoms guests, possibly have awards for several categories, honoring our guests, giving people some love back. Help anyone wanting to be in the restaurant business when we can. I would love to interview Dr. Vandana Shiva, I think is how you pronounce her name. She is a physicist out of India who's also an avid activist for organic farmers and started a whole farm keeping sacred seeds that are not GMOs that are found in, historic nature. So, what do they call those?
Ancient grains.
No, let's see. It's organic. There's a name for them, and for whatever reason, that's totally losing my mind. And then the rest of them, I was just going to put down people that I wanted to interview. And I talked about this before we started
Yes.
recording, and what I found was I had ChatGPT give me suggestions, and and I wasn't connecting with all of those people. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's cool, but
Yeah. Yeah.
like having them on. So understood in that moment that that's where the list ended, because the people that I add to that list should be people that I really resonate with,
Yeah.
and their messaging and what they're doing in the world, and
Right.
having them on. And that's really the same thing that you and I came down to, is that it really should be people that we jive with, that we're having
Right.
on, not just anyone. So that it's
I
a good
did-
conversation.
I did write down some people.
Okay.
Because I have people immediately. Like I knew immediately.
Okay.
Like my number one was a successful podcast that has a revenue stream.
Yeah.
The next 5 are podcast guys.
Okay.
So this is where I went originally before I did anything else.
Right.
Interview Brene Brown,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Michelle Obama.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you listen to her book, Becoming,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to interview her, I don't even know.
Right.
She is a beautiful storyteller
Yes.
and has a very just profound insight of how she views things.
Yeah.
It was like incredible.
Yeah. Great.
Interview Kiki Palmer. She's also a great storyteller, and she's
I don't know
funny
Kiki
as
Palmer.
fuck.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, she did so many interviews. So, there's a whole.
You have to understand
I know.
all of you. I am not a pop culture queen.
She just is hilarious, but she is a great interviewer, and she
Okay. I'll look her up.
man, love. Mel Robbins,
Yes.
and then Trixie and Katya, my favorite drag queens.
Yes.
And then I didn't put Bob on here, but I would love to interview Bob the drag queen. So those are just some people for me that I immediately was like, man, just thinking about like joyful or impactful interviewers, like those are the people I thought of.
Yeah.
There's a million other people that I would love to have
Right,
on
right,
whatever. But like when I
absolutely,
just
right.
thought of like impact, women, or joy,
Yeah.
that's what
That's what
that's
came
kind
to
of
you.
what came
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
And then I also had travel the world and speak to women via the podcast. So that's
Nice.
why I was like, listen,
Nice.
lady, we will be doing that.
Well, we have it together.
It's on my list. Host retreats and workshops in partnership with other women across the globe. Mentor women who want to get into leadership and podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some
Like that.
also podcast related items I had. Non-podcast related or real estate. Well, I guess this could be. But help create housing and planning for unhoused humans. I think being in real estate and caring a lot about people and the planet and women, working to help find solutions for unhoused people is something important to me. And I would love to be able to help with that. Become a yoga instructor and help those with physical challenges, especially those living in larger bodies, is important. And I think that's really all I got to. But it's truly because I think I spent so much time goaling out my future
Right.
so specifically that I didn't want this to feel like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
What kind of I think this is a cool project, right? This is the unhousing. And this really hit home to me too, when there was literally thousands and thousands of empty rooms in hotel rooms, right? Just sitting empty. And people becoming unhoused so quickly, right? And having no place to go, and I'm like, there's literally places for these people to sleep everywhere. And I know that that costs money for somebody. And I know that you don't just give that up, and what it causes for, right? Like, we had this whole conversation in Pittsburgh when we were there about homeless people, and a lot of times they're really high on whatever it is. And it was really scary for our 15-year-old to be, because we use local transportation. So we use a lot of busing. And it's just not something she was used to, right? She was not used to seeing it. It made her real uncomfortable. And I addressed it and I was like, "Hey, of course, this is an adult. It's a bigger person than you. They're acting weird, like they're not in control of themselves because they're not.
Mhm.
So that should be a scary thing for you. You
Mhm.
don't know what they're gonna do. Are they
Mhm.
gonna become violent? Are they gonna think that you're something that you're not? Like there's just this insecurity, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be afraid of all of them, right? Like that everybody in that
Well, and what you should be
situation is
afraid of is the system that put them there.
right.
Why is it that people that are struggling with addiction or literally missed one mortgage payment and it snowballed and they found themselves in a very unfortunate situation? Why is it that it is so difficult for people to get the support they need when things are hard?
Yeah.
I always think about that. Like, I always think about people always warn you about the homeless person or the unhoused person or the person that's on drugs. They don't ever warn you about the system that put them there.
Yeah.
They don't ever warn you about how certain policies, politics, politicians quite literally do not care what happens to people when they have a bad part of life,
Yeah.
when they need support and help. They don't tell you how hard it is to get in programs or how hard it is to get resources that you need.
Right.
Until I met my husband who was in the military, I just thought, well, don't military people get all these benefits? And then you realize what it is and how little care or thought or funding there is for any of that truly, and
Mhm.
how difficult they make it.
Yeah.
If you've never had to or known someone that needed government assistance for something
Yeah.
and the kind of shade, honestly, the kind of judgment that people get that make them want to never use it.
Right.
It's like the system is so broken for this. And we're just worried about the person that's suffering from it, not the system that put them there. I'm like,
Yeah.
gosh, that is something that I never want to like, here's a solution I think would work because it's so complex,
Yeah.
but it's something that I would love to be a part of figuring out.
Yeah. Yeah.
There has to be
So
a
I
better
thought
way.
and I was like, "Hey, there's all this here." Like,
Yeah.
and literally people are on the streets and it's freezing and, and how can we fix that? There has to be something that our city governments can do in places that are literally empty.
Right. But instead, they're putting bars on benches so unhoused people can't sleep on benches and make parks look undesirable.
Yeah.
Right? Like, where there are other countries who are literally putting in it's like these coverings that go over benches that you can pull over at night to help keep people warm. It's the same way how some countries are building overpasses that are green for animals to cross over them
Yeah.
safely, or top of buildings putting vegetation or planting
Right.
things. Like, it's just there are solutions out there, and it's
Definitely.
like,
Yeah.
what are we engaging in here?
Yeah. It was, and this is a diversion from what we're talking about, but interesting nonetheless. When we went to Canada, I told you that it was so surprising to me is that we were traveling on the boat through these canal systems. And so you stop and every lock has a marina and you're allowed to stay in that marina for free for up to 48 hours. They may charge you a little extra if you want electric. And then all around the locks, it's all a campground. And they have space for you to pitch a tent and to live there or not, or to sleep there for
Right.
free. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's limits on how many nights and all that stuff. If you
Right.
take up permanent residence and whatever, I mean, it might be an issue. But for the most part, like it made me realize that our state parks, you have to pay to get in, you have to pay to camp, you have to pay to, right? Like it's a fee to get in and experience these things. And they've turned it into this monetary thing when
Yeah.
now you have to pay to go through the locks. It's definitely you have because they have to pay somebody to man that. And I understand that
Right.
transaction. But the rest of it, I'm like,
Well, when
this is a person who literally I can drive into these parks and drive out without anybody having to do
yeah.
anything for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand why. And I guess
Because we
maybe.
don't prioritize anything that isn't profitable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
That's what it felt like. And I was like, man, you'd never find this nice of a for free, right? A
yeah,
nice of a place to stay like this for
when
free.
you prioritize nature, you prioritize parks when that's important to you. as a people, you elect people who protect those things.
Yeah.
When making money in big business is important to the majority of the people that live in a country, they prioritize electing people that help fill their pockets. And that's just how that works, right? Like, there are so many other places that really prioritize
Yeah.
protecting nature.
Yeah.
And it's like, we are definitely in an opposite situation here, and it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm hoping that there's hope on the horizon, it gets worse to make everybody wake up and
yeah,
it gets better. A lot of people have to pay attention to it in order for it to change. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that we are coming full circle on that,
yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
it's just, I think there are a lot of solutions out there, a lot of compassionate people out there. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping to be a part of that one day, especially when it comes to housing and, even already helping people who maybe don't have a huge budget or doing things like it's just interesting to see perspectives from
Mhm.
different lenses of,
Yeah.
well, I can't live here. It doesn't have a sauna. No one I've worked with has said that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
No one I work with actually has been anything but a
Right.
perfect sweet angel, but it's just, like, interesting to know that there are people who feel that way.
Right.
I've heard stories of people who feel that way.
Yeah.
Well, I can't live here. There, are too many trees,
Right.
and I want to be able to manicure my lawn, versus someone that's like, "Man, I just really want some peace and quiet."
Right.
And it's like
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah. And listen, I love where we live. A lot of trees. It comes with a lot of work. Right? Like, you gotta be okay with it. You gotta
Yeah.
be okay with the pine needles everywhere and the leaves dropping right now. It is messy, but it's 100% worth it.
Yeah. And I was thinking, this is gonna feel like a hard right for a second, but I was thinking about career and picking your career,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how that parallels to like picking your house.
Mm.
Okay. Because when before I had a house, so I lived in apartments, I wanted to be where the action was.
Yeah.
Put me in Grandview, put me downtown, put me where I can be around the people.
Right.
I got a little older. I wanted a townhome. And so I wanted to live in an LC community
Right.
because people, parties,
Right.
pools, fun,
Right.
right? So I wanted to live there.
Right.
When we got a house, what I wanted was natural light and 2 living spaces.
How far we've come.
And that's a big difference from what's the one that has the most walkable distance to a bar, right?
Right.
Like, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Big jump.
And
Big life changes happen in the middle of those two things.
when you're like, "Oh,
For
I
you.
can walk down this side road and I'm at a bar," versus I would just like some natural light. And I'm not talking about the beer. I'm talking about actual natural sunshine.
Right. You're like, I'm talking about sunlight.
And then I think career, I just thought, "Whoa, holy shit." I went through the same evolution as I did with my housing, right? Like, from where can I be in action and climb the highest corporate ladder? Where can I make the most, moves? How can I
Make
get
the
to where I
most
wanna
money.
be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm like, how do I make sure I don't get to where there's too much action? How do I get to where I have the most impact by being intentional with my time and my experience?
Yeah.
Like, I'm basically looking for all the places with natural light for my career.
Yeah.
Like, where can I get the most authentic sunshine coming into me that will bring me joy
Right.
versus, a 2-minute walk
Right.
to the Red Door Tavern.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So I just thought that was an interesting parallel that I was like, whoa, truly, when you shift one area of your life, when you look at it from that like zoomed out space, you're like,
Yeah.
this is the same choices I'm making in all the parts of my life.
Right.
Is to do things differently and with intent and with purpose and with space and with compassion
Yeah.
versus, to quote Taylor Swift's new album, "I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage." Like, I don't want any of that anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
None of that resonates with me any longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be a bad bitch.
Well, and I think the lesson here that we've demonstrated is, one, we are all over the place today. So thank you for tolerating all of it. Two, It's an evolution.
Totally.
And although we're making this list now, this list may be irrelevant in 5 years based on the new versions of us that come out from all of the stuff that we're doing today, right?
Totally.
So who knows what that'll be, but you know, making this list though gives you a peek into where you're at and where you're headed, and it may change and it may evolve, and it may be that half of this doesn't resonate with us 5 years from now. Who knows?
It's more than a list. I think that's what
Yeah.
we're saying even today. It's like it's more than a list. It's like a reflection.
Yeah.
And when you think of what lists you would have made 10 years ago, it's like, whoa.
And even none of this, hardly any of this stuff would be on there.
0% of mine would be.
Yeah.
0%.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa, honestly, 5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago,
Yeah.
none of this would have been on my list. That's a huge thing to think about. Travel, probably maybe 30% would be on there that I had.
Yeah.
But like, be crazy.
I agree. Well, again, you guys keep making your lists, share it with your moms, your sisters, your friends. We would love for you guys to do this. And then, you know, the giving season is around the corner. Use it to make somebody's list, things on their list come true.
So if you want to make things on our list come true this holiday season, please be sure you're sharing this with your friends, your family. Share it on your social media, whether it be one episode that you really like, just the show link in general. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeart. You know, we really want to grow next season. We want to get to as many women as we can, share as many stories as we can. And we can only do that if we have people liking, subscribing, and engaging with us, which is free 99.
Yeah. Leave us a review, guys. If you haven't done it and you love us and you listen to all of our episodes, we literally have 2 5-star reviews in certain platforms. And so that means that all of you that we know are listening, we see our demographics and we see our numbers. Very few of you have left us a review. So please.
Yeah.
It helps us a ton. If you can just take 5 minutes and leave us a review, that'd be great.
Yep. Well, until next time.
Love you guys. Thank you.